In this episode, we take a look at hooking up centralized distribution within our nation and also start exporting some of our surplus goods. Stay tuned. Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. So our central hub is up and running, and it took me hours and hours. I started recording an episode where I actually wanted to show you how I set up the distribution. It took hours. There were so many issues. People started dying, trains got stuck. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. I will, however, show you how I set it up, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. I just wanted to quickly show you a couple of small changes I made. You would remember there was a little weird bridge that went over here. I terraformed a little bit over here and actually put a bit of an underpass interchange in here, just so that we've got a more appropriate interchange going on. I'm quite comfortable with that. I also set up extra underpass over here, connected these roads up on this side, added an extra gate over here, and we've got a connection over here to Sovkozigrad. Ultimately, I wouldn't mind doing another little town over here somewhere that can support the harbor over here and potentially another nuclear reactor. We'll see. Here we see some trains arriving at our facility, and I'll show you the detail in just a minute. It took me so long because I took all of our trains on our network, not all of them, but most of the trains on our network, brought them over here and slowly assigned them to another round of distributions. So what do we have over here? I've also added these helipads, just so that we could, this is the food warehouses. I'm going to show you all the warehouses so that we could potentially distribute food via helicopter in kind of emergency situations, remote areas and places like that. So here we've got a food warehouse, central food A and B. They unload kind of equally to both of these. They're interconnected. Then we have over here, we've got central alcohol, and we're not getting a lot of alcohol in here. We might have to have another look. At least that's not the end of the world if we don't get much of that. We've also got clothing, which also missing. Then we've got electronics, which we've had a little bit of electronics over here. This is why I think this is so useful, because now we can really see where this stuff is going. That's a meat train. Got some meat over here, but our meat distribution from here is not quite the same as the others, so we'll get to that. Then walking our way this way, we've got plastics. Plastics is full, and we could presumably start work on getting our exports going for plastics. Mechanical components is doing pretty well. There's another big load of mechanical components being dropped off. Why are you unloading and loading mechanical components? That's a little weird, isn't it? Oh, because it's on your way back, you quickly pick up some components. Okay, that's fine. That's not bad. I don't mind that. And then we've got over here, we've got electronic components, a fair bit of that. We've got a lot of fabric, and chemicals are done. We had a bit of chemicals as I was playing around, but yeah, seems like we're out of chemicals already. Okay, so let's quickly set up. Getting our food distribution back up and running was a bit of a disaster, if I have to say so. It was a bit of a disaster. Now, what I want to do is I want to transition the plastics through here so that we can start loading containers. That is the plan. So let's set up a distribution facility. So from this one, I'm going to say you're going to pick up, this plastics is over here, right? You're going to come in and you're going to, well, what I'll do is I will say you, and you on that one. It's going to be all loading, and it's going to be as long as you are over 90%. All source buildings over 90%. Then you go and unload. This one doesn't matter what that is in there. I probably need to sort that out. And then you're going to make it your way over there. And this one, the unload, that honestly doesn't matter. 10% is all you're going to need. So now, what we should see is we should see the arrival of plastics. These guys are going to go and pick up plastics, I'm pretty sure. So they're going to go in, grab some plastics, and then we're going to start putting these things into containers. Nice. Okay, that's good. This is going to be pretty effective, I think. Only up to about 90. So 90, so there's still a fair bit that needs to move. They're going to move a few of these guys. So this is going to drop off over here. I just want to see this in action. Now, can we... There's a small one. So let's just set the... I want to set the large ones. Dry 40 container. Yeah, I don't want the small ones. I want the large... what am I actually using at this point? That's a dry 20. So dry 20, it's got 4.9 tons of plastics on board. I'd rather go for the long ones, actually, to be honest. Let's set the big ones. So as they come in, we will load them. And then we'll... Presumably they'll move on over this way. Anyway, we can set up a ship to come and load and send stuff away. But we've got a fair bit of room still. So we'll see how that goes. Is that everything now? No, you should still be unloading. You should still be going, right? You are most definitely not ready to go. Why would you not keep going? Well, let's just do chemicals over there, fabric over there. I've named them appropriately so that we can do this. Central electronic components, central mechanical components, and then central plastics. There we go. Hopefully they'll move along a little quicker now. So now we're actually starting a bit of an export going on over here. We don't have enough of everything else just yet. So let me quickly walk you through what I've set up over here. If we go to the train stuff, all of our kind of open hull type stuff is still being run in exactly the same way. So if we move ourselves over here, we've got central to IC1 and El Nixa, which is I think this is basically just unloading some goods to our distribution facilities in Irinsky. This is for Irinsky, really. Then if we move central to Irinsky, we've got a very similar situation. We're loading everything they need, and at that very same warehouse, we've got mechanical components being produced, and so we're doing that, and then we're coming to load it, and we unload that back over here. So that's basically a train back and forward that works fairly effectively. Point-to-point trains works really well. Then we've got a central to port of chaos, where we've got the central hub. We're loading chemicals because the port needs chemicals for some reason. I'll have to go and have another look at the port, but we're also picking up some food over there. There's a food facility. But the idea is that we go from place to place. So central to Sovkos, where we're providing mechanical components. We're picking up chemicals, and we're also picking up at a separate facility some fabrics and some clothing. And then we've got a different line to go to the huge storage facility where we're loading food and all kinds of things that's being stored over there. And we're unloading what exactly? Oh, we're just unloading everything over here. This is one train that's running empty in one direction. I'm trying to run the trains full in both directions. Let's do this one, for instance. Let's do this one, the Central to Vraska line. So over here, we load electronic components, mechanical components, and chemicals. Okay. How come that's a little weird? Honestly, that's a little weird. Then we go over here, up here to Vraska. I just want to show you the principle of this. So once you've loaded that, you then head on over here. We're coming to the cargo train station, which is this one, where we unload chemicals and mechanical components. We load plastics and electronics, which is being produced over here. Then we make another swoop around over here to the Vraska Warehouse 3, where we pick up clothing. So really, we don't want to be unloading chemicals over here. So what I'll do is, this is the line. So honestly, I'm not going to unload chemicals at Central. We're just going to do that. Chemicals are going to be unloaded over here. So that's where, I mean, these little things creep in, and it causes some issues at some point. So that's where you need to be quite careful with it. But that's basically it. So basically, on the way back, it's bringing back plastics, electronics, and clothing. It's bringing back to Central. So it's basically full on the one direction and full on the other direction. So let's see, is this the Vraska line? No, that's a different one. We needed some additional food at Sisbendi, and so we're running the food through here also. Let me go back to that Vraska line, Central Vraska. So if I go and take this, right? And so the way I've managed to run both directions fairly full is by using the advanced setup. So I've basically assigned all of our wagons, and each of our trains now has 6 wagons. I've assigned them 2 things, one for the way there and one for the way back. So it's 20 tons of chemicals going this way, 34 tons of clothes can go back the other way. This one, I've got chemicals coming this way, either clothes or electronics coming back the other way, just because we don't necessarily always have the clothes available. And we also want to move the electronics. So this one is either clothes or electronics moving back, and chemicals this way and plastics back, and mechanical components this way and plastics back, and electronic components this way and electronics back. So basically setting it up that way. So each wagon has 2 goods that it can carry, and theoretically it should never, well, at some point it will still have some of these things available if all of these things are full. But that's basically the concept. And so I'm not going to bore you with the detail of all of the setups. It just took a long time to get us there. And so what I'm going to do in this episode, now that I've shown you the Central setup, I'm going to start having a look at the rest of the things that we're short on. Our containers are coming along quite nicely. 41 tons of plastics in containers over here, and plastics are still coming on in. So these guys are still moving along. Oh, you know what? No, what was the arrangement? I just want to double check the arrangement. So it wants to say that it's got less than a certain amount of plastics, right? Let's just double check what it's saying. All destination buildings less than 10%. No. They can go nuts. You can go 90. Yeah, that's the one. 90 is the one. That's why, because it was storing some plastics in there while it was waiting to containerize it, and that's then what had happened. Okay, there we go. So now our container operation is underway. I'll set up this one also for the other side. So we'll just say, buddies, pick up there, and we'll just pick up on the one over here, and you need to make sure that all these buildings need to have more than 90%. And then on the other hand, you go and drop off over there, and that one can be 90% as well. I don't really mind too much about that. So I don't think those will go because these aren't that full, but this is getting pretty good. We've got a lot of containers starting to appear over here. So what I would like to do is get our first Frida to make the way over here. So Frida is a cargo ship, I believe. Yeah, 1,750 tons of vehicles can be loaded over here. So make your way over here, load, and then make your way over there and unload. And what I'm kind of interested in is what's going to happen with that. So I'll keep an eye on Frida over here to see what's going on. But really, I would like to have been able to set up... Oh, hang on. You need to load over here. And then you unload beyond the Soviet border. So the idea is that you load these containers. So it's a little interesting that we're not actually seeing these containers making their way through. I'm hoping that the pool arrangement will work. And once this guy's full, it'll make a move anyway. So there's lots of containers being stored over there. At some point, it's going to be full, right? At some point, there's not going to be room for any more. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's a train waiting too long somewhere. I'll just double check that because I've had some problems. Yes, over here. We seem to have a bit of an issue with iron. which is causing these guys to hang on, wait for the iron to come in through. It's not the end of the world because I don't need that steel super urgently, but we'll keep an eye on that. Where is... Can I have a quick look at where that... Frida will take a while to get around, right? Yeah. Oh, I haven't started. Start! Ah, here we go. And that's what I would like you to load. I would like you to load vehicles and unload whatever. There we go. I'm very keen to keep an eye on the Frida over here. So I'll keep it up here so that we kind of remember. I'm probably going to forget anyway. But that's a good move. Okay, now, what I wanted to do is... so now our exports is underway also. It's all just plastic still, right? Lots and lots of plastics being maneuvered in here and being transformed is being containerized. Are we all done now? Yeah, now we're under 90%. That's exactly what I'm after. So we can always drop stuff off at the central hub, and it will go for export. So 128 tons of plastics will go for export. That is awesome. This is another Frida that I think moves crops. Okay, so what are we missing? There's an issue with chemicals. And the one thing that I was kind of wondering about, and let's just move over here. I think I need more of the other wagons, the goods wagons. Oh, look at that. Lots and lots and lots of trains over here. Let's quickly move a few of these guys over. Now that's full, so let's move one over this way. Now what I want to do is I want to pick up all of those hoppers. So let's grab one of these guys, and I'm going to say hop in over here. And where do I want to actually get the hoppers to go? Probably this is going to be okay. So let's move the hoppers then over here and make a move. How many of the standard goods wagons do I have? I've got like 5 of them over here. That's not bad. So we can at least set up a couple more trains. But let's make a few more of them. Let's do at least 10 or 12. I like to do the 6-car trains at this point in time, and I had to make a few small adjustments on our on our network to be able to use the slightly longer trains in some locations where we weren't using them. So that's part of what we're doing over here. Okay, now what is happening with chemicals? So now that we've got a bit of a view, we can actually see what's going on over here. So there's chemicals being produced at a fairly rapid rate. Okay, and where do they go? Okay, so what I wanted to check, who is picking up chemicals? So chem fabric input distribution. Chem fabric, okay, let's do that. Let's go over here and say chem fabric input distribution picks up chemicals at all of these guys and drops off chemicals at Zotcha warehouse, which is over here. Okay, so it is in fact dropping it off over here. So chemicals should be coming in over here. So it just means that we're moving chemicals way quicker than we potentially should be moving them. Because what we shouldn't do, I don't think we should be picking up chemicals over here. So this guy I don't think should pick up chemicals. Because it's coming in here, it's picking up the little bit of chemicals that's potentially available over here. Oh, there's absolutely nothing. Nothing. But it means that these guys... But anyway, if we get these guys to really move, I need way more workers in here. There's just not enough workers. Okay. And that's fine. They're all switched on, and they all don't have enough workers. But that means that's another good reason for us to do the extra the extra facility. Okay, so let's lose the extra city to bring in more workers over here. Now, if we move all the way over here to Ultima Grad, where we're also doing chemicals, we are missing crops over here. So who's actually bringing us crops? There should be a train, I think, that brings crops. This one will have crops coming in. Should be a crop train, Ultima train. Then there's a crop train that's going to load at the grain elevator. Okay, there's plenty of stuff at the grain elevator. Where is this train though? So this train is basically struggling a little bit. We're not getting enough stuff over here. And then from here, this is the where does it also? It also goes to what is Ultima Logistics Warehouse. So it's this one. So okay, there's a bit of a challenge over here. The Ultima crop shunt needs an extra train. This is definitely a problem. The Ultima crop shunt needs an extra train because we can't do. We'll need one to go to each of these. Okay, so let's pop in here. A lot of logistics is currently underway, so let's pop in here the Ultima crop shunt. I just want to pop in there and I want to make sure that we go to food is the most important one. So let's remove this from there and we'll make the Ultima crop shunt food and save that, and you'll just go over there. Okay, here you unload and you wait until you're fully unloaded and then you go. There we go. I think that's going to be awesome. Now, that means I need to set up another train. So let's go and grab ourselves an extra train. Get out of this one. So hopefully our food production should be awesome. Now we need to set up another train in order to ensure that our chemical production is also awesome. Now, I think... How long until... Oh, we're out of resources on this guy. Electronic components. Okay. And this is where we're going to start seeing some of those issues. Okay. So I'm going to grab just one of these guys. Move it on over here, I think. Yeah. And we'll set up those 5 to shunt the crops for chemical production. Let's set that up and then we come back and we have a look. So now you can clearly see that I haven't actually... I'm not actually distributing everywhere. There's a lot of industrial areas here where I'm not properly distributing to. And that is a part of our problem here. So we'll do this guy. This will be crop shunt. Crop shunt 2. I like naming the trains as well. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to pop all the way over here. I believe this is where you're picking up at the Kurbusk extended grain elevator. You're going to come and load, and then you're going to bring it over here and you're going to unload, and you're going to wait until you're unloaded, and that's basically going to be it. So you're going to continuously bring crops over. So we'll do that. We will get out of there. We will get that line, which is start with something like a K, right? Oh, it's also trains only, please. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I can never find these things. There it is. And rename it to Ultima Crop Shunt Chem. That should be pretty straightforward for us to understand, and now they shouldn't be messing around with one another. Let's quickly see where this guy's at. Ooh. Why did you decide to go beyond our borders first? Or you're doing what? Anyway, I'm not going to be bothered by that. We're just going to let that be. Can I just zoom out at the wrong button there? Okay, so that is interesting. So you made your way up that way. That's really quite bizarre. Quite bizarre. Okay, so I'll just drop this down again. So you're not making your way over this way. I'm still hoping these things will eventually push on over to the other side. It's all just chem plastics at the moment. But that's good. Plastics are moving along. So the bother that I have is that maybe we're overdoing the plastics a little bit, which is obviously drawing on a lot of chemicals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off one of these guys. So because we're probably out of chemicals, or going to run out of chemicals. I'd rather just do the one. We don't need all that plastic, it seems. Okay, now, what we were missing... And do we have any extra trains? I don't think so. I think we only have a couple. I might have to buy a wagon or two if these wagons won't be doing the trick. So what I've forgot to do is that I've also got these distribution areas over here where we're dropping off all kinds of stuff that needs to come in over here. And all of these vehicles I need to at some point move around a little bit. And over there, so these things all need all of these things. Both of these facilities need that. Is there any other facilities in this immediate area that needs some of this to be dropped off? I think not. I think this is it. So let me grab, and what is it that we're after? We're after fabrics, electronic components, mechanical components, plastics, and electronics. And I think it's the same thing over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 styles of goods. So 5 wagons is actually not a bad idea. So I'm kind of tempted to just grab a 5 wagon varietal and we'll just move those guys over. So I'm gonna go ahead and this is not a plastics train anymore. This is a vehicle production train. The vehicle production train. And I'm gonna buy a couple of these wagons, 5 of them to be exact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I should just do 6 and get it over and done with. I don't want all of these different lengths anymore. However, let me just have a quick look at what the setup looks like over here. I think that'll work. I'm less convinced this one will work. I'm less convinced this one will work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to end up selling one of them. Oh, I sold the entire train. Anyway, at the end of the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And this train is called something else. So let's just rename it to the vehicle production train. Okay. There we go. So now it's got a room for some stuff. So now I can actually show you how I set it up, because I still need to do a few more if I can find the place. Okay. So now these buddies come in and come to our central hub. At our central hub, you will be loading fabrics, electronics, plastics, mechanical components, and electronic components. Okay. Then you will drop it off firstly over here, which is fine. Drop off some stuff over there, and then drop off some stuff over there. Okay, so you'll drop off all of it. Unload. Is there anything here that we can load and take back in this immediate vicinity? I'm not going to go around the map and find stuff. In this immediate vicinity, is there stuff we can take back? I don't think so. It's all a lot of other stuffs. This, yeah. No, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything. Let's leave it at that. Now, how do I do this? I go in over here and we say, so now we've got 5 things and we've got 5 wagons. So I'm going into the advanced setup. Wagon 1 will be fabrics. Click fabrics. So only fabrics will be loaded into wagon 1. Wagon 2 will be electronic components. Click. There we go. Electronic components loaded. Mechanical components loaded. And plastics loaded. and electronics loaded. Okay, so that's what it is. So now, what I just want to make sure is we only unload. Well, I don't want to do that. Let's just do it so like this way around. Okay, there we go. That's going to be it. So that's it. That's the train. That's the train. So let me make a start. So once I've made the start on that vehicle, we'll take a ride with it. There it is, ready to go. Just want to pop in here quickly and name the actual route. So from Central to these guys will be called Central to Vehicle Production. Point to point is the plan. If you have to run empty in one direction, that's fine. I don't mind it. I've tried to generally not run empty in one direction, but this should be good. So with that guy now running, right, I'll pop in onto the train, and what we'll do is we'll take a bit of a ride with it. I'm going to leave it in there so that we can see how much it loads of everything. It can only load certain amounts, so it won't load the whole shebang. Across there. Oh man, I do love it. This new central hub is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Here we go. Arriving at the central hub, and it should be loading plastics, everything. It's full on everything. So presumably it will make a pretty good move at filling up all of the stuff that's required on the other end. Now, we may find ourselves getting into a situation where this train runs with these wagons full of stuff all the time. So let's say we're not using enough electronics. This train will have a bunch of electronics on it. And that's okay. There's another train waiting too long. I still think it's over there. I probably should check. So let's take a ride and see where this one's going now. I feel we need an extra. Really, we do need an extra couple of signals over here. Follow our train. Okay. Yeah, this is really messy. All of this was a lot of retrofitted railway lines, and look at these power lines. Luckily, we don't do that anymore. Okay, so we're going to drop off some stuff over here, and hopefully our production of trains and things will recommence. Now, let's just see. This should be no problem. Yeah, easy. Even an extra wagon shouldn't be a problem over here. We're unloading. Oh, look at that. So, needed a lot of plastics over there. We hardly unloaded any of the others. No electronics almost. Gonna swing around. We've got a couple of loops to do. I took all of our plastics, so now we won't have any plastics for the trains. Now let's see. Would a extra wagon have done it? No. The 6th one would not have worked. Unloading a lot of stuff over here. Excellent. Oh, look at that. So only fabric. We've got way too much fabric. But that's good. So that's how it works. Now it's going to go back, pick it up, do it again. So that is basically how it works. Now, that's why I've got these guys set to 90% so that we maintain a full load over here. That is really the plan. Have we started loading anything but plastics over here? No, not really. Not really. Okay, so there we go. That's been set up. Hopefully, presumably, we should now start seeing slightly improved rates of plastics being produced. I mean, not plastics, chemicals. Excellent. Good. And food. Food is a real... These guys eat so much. So much, I tell you. Okay, chemicals is healthy. Chemicals is healthy. Luckily, we only have the one train bringing food in here, or crops in here now. Ultima food train. This guy's coming back with 331 tons. Hopefully, it will be in time. I think it may be in time. So this will be about the right kind of turnaround, I think. This 200 tons that it fills up at the storage, at the facility itself is just about right, it seems. These Ultima Grad takes almost all the food. So I think we need a big further push for food production. Okay, we are running out of crops. Hopefully that's the train coming in. Bringing our crops, I think it is. Yes, yes. So the turnaround seems to be appropriate. The one train shunt seems to be just about appropriate. These guys can continue going. However, if it's running at 250 all the time, it might be a problem. Okay, so now I think we've done a bit of a fixer-upper on plastics, on chemicals, but I think we need the extra town over here, which is something that we'll probably do in the next episode. So are we seeing some chemicals coming in? Not yet. So it'll take a little bit of time, but I think we might have to do some extra trains as well, but we'll see, we'll see. Now, let's move on to the next one. Fabrics is fine. No problems with fabrics. Electronic components are fine. There's enough to go around. Mechanical components is fine. Plastics is good. I don't think we're moving. Oh, yeah, some meat is coming in over here. No, but I don't think we're distributing meat from over here, so that'll just fill up all the way. Food is looking not too bad, so that'll be 600 in total. Excellent, that's really good. Alcohol, excellent. Alcohol is starting to come in. Clothing is a bit of a challenge, and electronics is looking all good. So clothing is the next big problem for us. So let's quickly have a look. The two places where we are in fact producing clothing is the one is down here. So where are these clothes? No clothes hanging out over there. No clothes over here. It's in here where it's closed. Okay, so we're effectively taking all the clothes. That's fine. The one thing I'm a little... Anyway, that's okay. I think that's okay. The other spot is up Vraska over here where we're doing a bit of clothing production. But I think that means and we're due another big push for clothing. This guy's loaded up. Yeah, that's the big next thing that we're going to do. So what I'm going to do, down at Ultima Grad, where presumably we have sufficient people... How's this going? Have we loaded up these? I believe I'm sending a train over here to come and pick up mechanical components. But it may create... Yeah, that's why we're dropping. Now we've got iron available, and we're out of coal. So we'll need to have a bit of a look at that. But okay, what I'm after is a facility where we can create clothing. Now, unfortunately, I don't necessarily want to do another one over here, going into winter again. That just shows you how long it was since that actually worked. Since I got all of that sorted out. Where's this Frida at? Oh, it's loaded. Hang on. I'm going to come back to this. Let's just see the Frida. Oh, look at that. Loaded with 245 tons of plastics. That's about a third of the ship. I wish I saw it. Oh, I can send it back. I'm going to send it back. Go back. Turn around. We'll load those other two containers. Going back? Yes. Let's see it. I just want to see how the loading works. Make a U-turn. Look at that. So this is going to be our export industry. That is super cool. And as it gets over here, that might be our screenshot. How is this gonna work? Coming in on this side or on the other side? Gonna make a U-turn. It's a tiny little ship compared to this. Ooh, that's fair enough. Excuse me. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. Probably not. I don't know where it actually goes. Does it go into the center and it just kind of pops in, doesn't it? Oh. Okay, so it doesn't actually do anything. It just kind of appears on the ship. Anyway, I think this is an awesome screenshot. This is going to be the screenshot for the video, of the thumbnail. Look at that. I love it. It's a tiny little ship, isn't it? There we go. That's awesome. Loving it. Okay. Now, so Frida is on the way now, going to export 260 tons of plastic at 21 or almost 22 million rubles when it actually decides to get there. So that's cool. So that means this is what I'm on about. So now we're going to make tons more money because it's not going to be sat in warehouses. We're going to make sure that we've got the right amount of stuff that we need, but it's not going to just be sat in warehouses all the time. We've got no workers over here. Or hardly any workers. How do we get workers here? Do they just come directly here, I think? Okay, so Ultimagrad chemical workers. I think I should assign a couple of extra buses to that. The line, let's just go and have a look. Ultimagrad for passengers, please. Maybe an extra bus. I'll do one extra bus to it. One extra bus. Just get a little bit more workers in there. Should have a bus over here ready to go. First one. And make a start. There we go. Excellent. There's lots of vehicles and stuff over there, so that's okay. You're doing your thing. Okay, so what do we want to do is clothing production. Somewhere where we can... Now, the problem is this is all so busy. So what I'm kind of wondering is, should we do a clothing production facility somewhere over here where we can, in fact, give it a bit of a connection? I think that's the right thing to do. So let's grab modded factories. Clothing is what I'm after. Fabrics, clothing. All right. Is that the only one? Do I have multiple clothing factories? Seems to be the only one. Well, there's one of these, but Mr. Rob's is... So it does 20 tons of clothes with 49 tons of fabrics, and that's pretty much it. So, what I'm keen on doing is placing it somewhere over here. And we'll get this to build itself. I mean, we'll build it ourselves, not to get it to build itself. Now, what I'm wondering is, do I put a little facility in here? I do wonder. Nah, we don't need industrial comp. It could be nice. Let's do it over there. Okay, then if we go to storage, I'm doing the big guy where we can do fabrics and clothings. Is that the one? All of a sudden I'm a little wondering about this. Is this the one that I'm using? I think this is the one that I'm using. What is these stuff? Yeah, no. Ooh, what we can have is some of these guys. Let's see. But I don't think they come with rails, though. If we do something like that, I think that comes with... Yeah, that's not right. That's not right. We're going to use this one. We're going to use this one. And I'm going to do it something like this, so that we provide ourselves with sufficient room. Okay, let's get that all sorted out. Good stuff. I like that. That's awesome. Now, we will need... We wanted to do a bit of a gate. Now, we're definitely going to do it... over here on this side, so that the walking distances aren't too... alternatively, we can do a bus stop in there. I'm not opposed. I think this can work. If we do something like that, okay, and we then... do something like this, right? We tie this one in, and we get ourselves one of those bus stops. Bus stops, station, platform, platform, station, platform, station. There we go. When we do this, I'm not sure this will work. Okay, that won't work. So what we'll do instead is we'll just do a standard bus stop over here, please. Let's trim this guy back. I'm trying to be too fancy here. Let's try that. So a standard bus stop, please. Let's take that out. Do this again. If we try that, hopefully that'll work. That works, and that works. I think that'll be fine. And then all I want to do is... So let's go ahead and commission that for now. Oh, man, that's beautiful. I'm going to pay for that one. Okay, now let's get our fence in place. Actually, before we do that, let's get our rails in place. That's the one that's a little bit more... Excuse me. If we go in over there, okay, almost the end of this episode. I think that should be enough room. Now, what we'll definitely want to do is do this. Yeah, that's okay, do that. Now, the question being, can we... can get that to work over there, and we'll get this one to work over there. So I think that's going to be fine. I'm going to pay for this. That's fine, and what we'll do is we'll remember to put our chain signals in. And actually, this one can be a chain 2, and then we'll do our switch over here as far away as possible, and do it as aggressively as possible. Something like that. So there's a fair bit of room for trains to go in there, so there's a little bit of waiting going on there. Pay for that. There we go. Now let's quickly do our fencing. Fencing, please. We're doing this. I'm keen on doing something like that. And then, I'm gonna trim that a little bit again, and then we'll do. Up here. There we go. Nice. I'm gonna trim this one a little bit and just get it to come in close to the rail. There we go. So that's our new little complex over here. If we commission it, how long will it actually take to build this? I'm not sure let's commission it and see if all of this kind of gets built by itself. We built the rails only. Let's get the rest to build itself. So that's going to be another clothing factory for us to supplement our clothing industry. It's quite important that we do that. Let's quickly have one last look over here. Chemicals are starting to trickle in. Fabrics are here. Electronic components dropping a little bit. Mechanical components dropping a little bit. Yeah, plastics doing a great job. Food is dropping a little. Alcohol is coming in strong. Clothes, a little bit of clothing available. And electronics is doing awesome. Actually, guys, I think it's not too bad. And we've got a couple of containers, probably still only plastics coming in over here at containers. But that's the plan for us, is to expand our production of all of these things so that, in fact, we end up getting way more exports. Okay, in the next episode, I'm going to build a little town over here, or maybe even a little bit lower, somewhere over here, maybe a little long town along here, so that we can bring more workers into this location over here by bus. And I'm kind of tempted to do nuclear reactor in this general area. But that will be it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.